Now, I would like to do a little demo of showing everyone how to make the model and the view and the delegate, since it's one of those things where until you do it a few times, it really doesn't make it isn't the clearest thing. So the first thing is that I'm just going to make a new empty project here. And in this project, normally what we would do is we would have our model is going to come from another file. So I'm going to just add a file here really quick. I'm just going to add, we're going to call it my model. Just nice and easy. All right. This is going to be a list model. Now, a lot of times you'll just be given some sort of file maybe that just contains all the stuff they want in your list. So I'm going to show everyone a couple tricks within Qt Creator to make this kind of stuff easier. So I've copied the contents of this file to my into my paste buffer, and I've gone ahead and pasted it. Now I'm going to go ahead and make a quote, but since it's going to try to do it for me and close it, I'm just going to copy a single quote, and I'm going to just make a macro to do this for me. So I'm going to hold Alt and the square bracket to start recording a macro, and then I'm going to paste, hit down, hit end, and then Alt and the other square bracket to close it. And then I'm just going to hold Alt R and just repeat this macro action until we get to the bottom. This is kind of a long list, and it makes it a lot quicker to do it this way. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hold Shift and Alt, and I'm going to push up here to do like a block selection for all these. Actually, I want to do this right next to this text. And I'm just going to hold up all the way to the top here. And I'm going to make each one of these a list element by just typing list element. We're going to open list element. We'll call this name, and then we'll open the quotes. Now, the next thing I have to do, of course, is close this. I know some of these are kind of long, so I'm going to go out a little bit, and then I'm going to do the same thing, Shift and Alt, just hold down to the bottom of my list here, and put a curly bracket. All right, we're going to save this. Now our model's done. So now that our model's done, we're going to make a list view here, and this list view is going to have a model. We're going to call this model, of course, it's going to be my model. We have to create an instance of it because it is an object itself, and then it has a delegate. Now, we have to create the delegate. So let's go ahead and create a delegate real quick. Our delegate for this will just be, of course, we have to give it a name. We'll call it my del, and it's going to be we'll make it a text. We'll make it a text, and we will set the text property of this text to be model dot name. Now, the one other thing that I have to do, of course, is fill our view. Fill our parent with our view so that we can see this, and then tell it what delegate. So we're going to tell it my del. And now when I run this, we'll see that we should have a list that we can scroll through. Now, we'll notice I have some weird tearing here, and this is because the way the scaling is on my particular setup. So I'm going to just comment out this first line that makes the application try to scale itself on top of my scaling. So now that we have our list, I should have smooth scaling, but I guess it's not rebuilding correctly. We can also use the same exact thing if we change this to be maybe a rectangle. Instead of the rectangle, we could set, instead of the text, we could set the color property. And we would see here that now we have just if I were to set a width and height for each of these, because by default, again, if we remember, the rectangle has a size of 0. So if I were to set a size for these, we would now see that we'll have a list of our colored blocks. And if we take that and we change this from a list view to a grid view, now we will be able to run the grid view, and we'll see that we have them laid out in a grid now. And my scaling or my scrolling is messing that up, but let me just run this again real quick. And you see now they're just laid out in a grid view. We could use the grid view and the list view are pretty much interchangeable, so they're really easy to swap back and forth between them.
Thanks for watching. If you want to learn more, please subscribe to our channel and check out the free QML programming course on our website. The link is in the description.